Hey, just check what recording we are. Hey, welcome back to the 2021 refresh tutorials. I'll be honest with you, there isn't much difference in this one than the 2020, although it applies to the new tutorial vehicle. So first part of this is going to be a bit of chatter about what is happening with the lights and stuff. Need to open the car script. I've got that open. Close some other things. I don't know, since 1.12 it looks like some attachments are a bit messed up on the trucks, but anyway, not here for that. Here goes DBO status. Config. Look at that. Right, so yeah, a brief overview of what's happening is when we make changes to textures in game, we apply them to a predetermined set of faces, and the order of selection always begins at 0. This can be seen really better here. So this number here, so somewhere in the script it will say this set object. I don't know if this is engine, I don't mean car engine, I mean game engine route based action, or it's in a script, but well, let's just do a quick, assuming I spelt that right, finding files.c scripts set object. Oh, I've missed a T out, so it's probably not going to find that. Well done, Dinos. Syntax, old bean. Object. Texture. You know, sometimes you stare at a word and you think there is no way on earth that's an actual word. I'm doing that now. Set object texture. Texture doesn't look right, but it's there. Yeah, it wasn't what I was looking for, but anyway, nonetheless, we can progress. So these numbers are applied to somewhere a script will say this set object texture 0, new texture. Now that isn't correct code syntax for everything, but I'm sure most people know my creatures, and similar with those, set object texture and set object material. So that's the RV map, you know, the file that carries the paths to your normal maps and speculars and that. So that's the skin when he's invisible, so it sets the skin and the material there. And notice it says 0, 1, 2. So in that instance, on the bloodsucker, 0 is the camo, so the whole thing appears. My apologies once again, Dino hasn't set his stall out. So the whole skin appears, and it appears. Sorry if you don't know my bloodsucker things, but that's the way I can explain it. Those are the red eyes that in some appear first, so it's just got red eyes. And those are the silly tentacles around the face that people love to hate. So the sequence is set out in the cars here. So if it says there set object 0 new texture, the left light, which is going to be this light here, there, it's going to get its shiny texture. Can you see that one there? Hey, do you know you finally got it? And we're going to be animating that on and off after. I think I first did it a long time ago in the Mustang Halloween version. So when you switch the lights on, it flips up, sets the texture. I saw somebody had already done that in the Discord, so it's nice to see my script has done the rounds. Shame there's no credit on it, but we can't ask for everything, can we? So here we go. So the memory, this is all in carscript.c. So if you ever need to know where things are, that's one for later. Drown engine. So I put that in now while we're here. We'll go to our car memory. And this makes sure the engine floods when it's underwater. Just put insert. New drown engine. So if the water goes above that level there, it will drown the engine. That's the air intake, honest. Anyway, back to lights. So how do we name that selection there? Well, so this is the script version. That's the code that tells it blah blah, the front rear light. So if we go into our model config here and the sections, and a section is a group of faces in the model, and it's defined here. If it's an animated section, then it goes in the skeleton, but because it's just a selection of faces, we have light 11. So we need to name that light 11. We should also find that in our config CCP. We should also find that. We obviously haven't put it in yet, have we? So at least I don't think so. Yeah, we haven't put ours in yet. It's all ready for us here. So we have put them in, but we've put them in differently from our inheritance. And I can see already the original hatchbacks used light left and light right. We'll be changing that. We'll be getting rid of some of those for now as well. Let us. So here we need light 11. Now I'm not sure if it needs to be light left or light 11. I think if these are going to be the same, it'll work. But we're going to do this together so then we know whether we're right or wrong. You won't find that in script. Well, you should find it now 1,000 times. No, you won't find that, because that define isn't in a script, it's just defined as that selection note. Okay, so as long as we have the same names in our config CPP, our model config, or name of model.config, and the model itself, which we're going to do now. Just want that bit, remove that bit, do a new light 11 there. Whilst we're here, the second one, undo that, we're going to do a new, and that's light 21. Remember, 1 left, 2 right, 1 front, left and right front selections. Okay, now we're going to go into the memory. Now, you cannot animate a light in this instance to come on there and then flip up with the light, as far as I recall. We're going to go into it, don't worry, but I'm going to get it out of the way early. So you might as well set your light across there. Because of the seconds it takes for it to come on, this will have animated up anyway, and the light will be shining where we need it to shine, which is straight out. Now, how do we know what they're called? Well, we just saw it here. Left headlight point is light left. So we go in here. There already seems to be a light there, doesn't there? We didn't put it in, did we? Not what those points are there. We didn't put them in, did we? Anybody remember what they were for? Let's just copy them. Put them in a new log. Paste. Doors, hood, axis. Good job we didn't delete them, innit? Back to memory. So our car lights are going to be about here. Insert that first one. Move it over to the light here. Copy it to V. Move the second one over here. We can move them back a touch there. But remember, they do collide with geometry, so just be careful where you place these. So this one here is called light left. You're not going to believe what the other one's called. New light left. This one here, unbelievably, is called light right. Why have we not gone to light reverse? Don't worry about that, doesn't matter yet. This one here is light right. I'm going to copy those. Control V. I'll move them out here for now. And you'll notice here the direction that the light is facing is called light left direction. So I'm going to select this one, new left, and the opposite one is light right direction. I'm going to select this one, new light right direction. Now obviously our light left, we need to just undo that and redefine as the back one. Same with light right. Control Shift drag and just redefine that. Okay, so we have those two memory points. We're good to go there. I'm going to go into the resolution mode, and this one here, this face here I should say, called here light 11. New light 11. We already did it, didn't we? Why didn't you shout at the screen? On one, light 2-1, so left one, we did those two. Save. Now, these must have a light 1 and light 2. Press E. Now they've got to have a RV mat and a UV for this to work. Now if we look in lights, there will be, let me just find, usually you find the dashboard. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Now what you will notice here is there's a definition of the RV mats pertaining to what is applied when that action is called. So the front reflector with the material on is neither lights on there, and off is the normal everyday body RV mat. Now I don't have one on this model, but I'm going to need one, because in order for it to apply an RV mat it must already have one applied and a UV. So how do we get around that? Well, we've got to create either a blank one or something for it to swap it to. So now that's your front reflector, reverse tail reflectors, they all need one, you see. Now let's go and grab that neither lights and see what it is. Lights, new glass, new, edit that. So it's got a normal map, a mask, specular. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy that, make a new file, save as, what's a DBO, and the vehicles, DBO Stratos, data, we're gonna call it DBO, what is it, Toot Stratos, lights, put a capital, sneaky little capital got in there. Not RV. Just make sure it's not rvmat.txt. There we go. So we're going to edit that, and we're just going to give it some macros here. There's lots of ways you can do that. You just go in your model here, create a new, go in here, create a plane, press E, go to the palette here and do a macro, NOHQ, whatever, just click blue, OK, copy that, and then here we'll just, can you see that hash? You see how it's just the same there, so we just created a fake one, but we'll just have that as 0.0. Don't need that silly blue really. Then you've got an MC, so press E on there again, MC, let's do grey, OK, copy. Now if this turns out looking like a pig, just change these colours here. Big numbers, aren't they? Maybe it should just be that 0.5s. 0.5s across the board. Same with here. DT, I mean, you get the gist. You could really just use the same bloody things. DTSMDI is not even in there. Oh yeah, so delete that log now. So with the DTS blag here, I'm just going to copy that. Remember that DTSMDI, and that's it. Just going to save that. And then in here, go to my lights selections. Light 1, light 2, click E. Oh, we did that last time. Now we're going to put a Satos light RV mat apply. Okay, just going to go to the UV. There's too many UV sets there. We need to delete that one. Should be two, one for each box that we have here. And we press E, 1 UV, 2 UV, 1, 2. Now the thing is, we're in front view, we're in the UV. Go to the first one. We're going to select by selection in the model. We're going to copy that. I'm going to paste it into the secondary UV. Okay, let's save it there. Now we're going to do some config work where so this is our base section. What we want to do is cap it, oops, copy this, go to our actual Stratos down here. I've got the view of this set up pretty badly really, haven't I? So our actual Stratos, and we'll start adding changes here. So our front reflector material on, NEVA lights and off is DVO vehicles DVO Stratos data, and what did we call it? To Stratos lights. Okay, so now we also need to, have we done it in the model yet? Probably not, no me. But to have lights, you've got to let it accept light bulbs. Let's go to attachments. We have it there in the GUI. Do we have it in the? So in here we need to let it accept a couple of reflectors. Now in the model, what we do for that is again create a proxy here, proxy browse, and it's in, I think it's vehicle, in parts. Replacement headlight. That's the headlight there. That one is oops, we don't need all the. That's reflector 1 there. Obviously we need that up near left light. We 1 remember. That's 1 copy. Yeah. And that one is 2 Did I just copy that? Yeah, I did. So we're in a 2 being front, 2 1 1 Copy that. This should change to 2. Let's just, well, it should change it anyway. Change it to 2 because it's the second entry for that proxy. Okay, 1 2 1 is left, 2 is right. Copy those 2 now. Delete those 2 LODs. The visual LOD, paste them in. And in the view geometry, never sure if the proxy or just the box is needed here, but need a couple of more boxes now. Just to define that selection. Remember everything we learned about this. Carry on. God, freedom of movement there is annoying. Reflector 1 Let's just paste one in there. That there is that. New 1. New reflector 2 Copy those 2. Put them in the view geometry. Delete that. Structure, get our components, find components. Remember, don't do component convex hull while you've got proxies or it destroys them. Thank you for Spurgle for reminding us of that. I think if we just copy the proxies to fire geometry, its fire geometry will be put in there, and if they're shot, well, no, I think that's wrong. I don't think you need that in there. We'll go to that later, but in here will be things called damage zones. We'll get to that when we get to damage. So right, so for now in the .c we will make our own lights, but for now I'm using the hatchback O2 front lights and rear lights, because let me try that again. I'm using the same front light and rear light. I'm using those because we're inheriting from that anyway. Eventually that might change to extends car script, but for now. Okay, let's see if we can't bloody it'd be nice if we got it dark, don't we? Yeah, that's what it is. It needs a texture to set it to. Look at the Okay, so that did that. Thank you. Bye bye for now.